When we're trying to approximate or estimate a square root that is not a perfect square, it's easier if we have our square roots memorized, but if not, we can calculate them as well, either with a calculator or by hand. So for this example, we're trying to find the square root of 40 is between which two whole numbers? Whole numbers being 1 and 2, is it between 3 and 4, or 4 and 5, and so on. So if you don't know your perfect squares, we can go ahead and make a chart. The easiest way to do that is start with the answer. So for example, 1 times 1 is 1, so that means that the square root of 1 is 1. 2 times 2 is 4, so that means that the square root of 4 is 2. The square root of 4 really is saying what number times itself would give me 4, and it was 2 times itself gives me 4. 3 times 3 is 9, so the square root of 9 is 3, because 3 times 3 makes 9. So I can continue down this list. 4, so I do 4 times 4 and I get 16, so square root of 16 is 4. I'm just going to continue down my list. 5 times 5, so square root of 25 is 5. 6 times 6 is 36, so square root of 36 is 6. 7 times 7 is 49, so square root of 49 is 7. And then I could keep going, but I've noticed that I found where square root of 40 would be. Because this is a square root, I'm going to be looking at the square root column. So I'm looking at this column here. And in this column here, if I were to put square root of 40 in this list, I would put square root of 40 somewhere in here between the square root of 36 and square root of 49, because 40 is bigger than 36 and smaller than 49. So since that square root fits in between here, that means its answer has to be in between here. So it has to be between 6 and 7. We can look at another one. If I want to estimate the square root of 10, I would look on my square root side again, because this is a square root. So I would want to look on the square root side again. And 10 would go right after 9. So square root of 10 would fall in between here. So it would be between 3 and 4. If you have a calculator, it's a lot easier. I can just type in the calculator square root of 10 and it would give me 3 point something. So it's bigger than 3 but less than 4. But on a lot of these types of problems, these are going to be a no calculator question. So again, if you don't know your square roots, you can just make that list out just like we did here.